Heyo! So, it's Luke.
And it's me. You know who I am. I don't need to...
We don't need it.
Yeah.
At this point, we don't need introductions. You know our voices.
But we'll do it anyway, because I don't feel like doing this episode.
So, with a week away now from Mortal Kombat 11, we kind of decided we were going to give you our impressions and our thoughts on the now finalized character roster thanks to a leak.
Somewhat. I don't completely trust leaks, but...
Well, it was one of the people that got the game early and decided to post screenshots of the game.
Oh, yeah?
And it was that kind of a leak, so you know that one's true.
We'll see.
Okay.
I want it confirmed first.
All right. So I kind of want to just go down the character list just from the top and just kind of like discuss each person, if that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're starting with the top, and that is Baraka.
Baraka hasn't been seen since MK9, and in MK9 he was an okay character.
He was in 10, he just wasn't playable in 10.
Yeah, and that's the problem, I think, too, is that there were a lot of characters that showed up in 10 that just weren't playable, i.e. Rain. Like, they all had their own movesets and everything. You just couldn't touch them.
Yeah, I'm surprised they've just kind of cut out Rain in general.
Oh, yeah? You gonna yawn?
Yeah, I'm gonna yawn. I'm surprised they just cut out Rain in general. It's kind of disappointing.
Well, also, Baraka's kind of been a big fan favorite since his introduction in 2. So, I think it's,
because he has the famous move where he,
the
swipes
chop.
his hand, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal that he's coming back, I think. As a personal... I'm not a big fan of Baraka, but I would like to at least try him since he's got, the flag now that you can use to, buff his stats and whatnot. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
On to the next.
Yeah, it's Cassie.
Cassie Cage making her debut last game in Mortal Kombat X. Daughter of Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage. Ironically, has more Cage in her than Blade, but thank God. I think she's a good fit. I like her. I don't have an issue with her. She's one of those characters that's you either like her or you hate her, I feel, but I'm one of those people who likes her, so I'm not going to sit here and complain about her. I think she just has a lot of Johnny's moves and not a lot of Sonya moves. So,
the new character, Cetrion, is next.
One of the Elder Gods, actually, which I will explain the Elder God lore to those that don't know later after we get done the character select thing, because there's a lot to the Elder Gods that they're really putting into this game, and They've been trying to give us a breakdown of it for a majority of these streams that they do, the reveals, but it's not a very good breakdown. So I'm just going to kind of explain the family tree, if you will. So yeah, up next,
Devora is next.
Devora. Okay, and this is my first complaint. I don't think Devora should be in this game. I didn't like Devora in 9. I don't think she really...
Was she in 9? I thought she was in 10.
Or not 9, I'm sorry, 10. You're right, I'm sorry. I don't think she made a whole lot of sense in 10. She just kept flopping back and forth between who she ruled for, because I think she's just scared, honestly. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, she did look pretty dope in 11.
Yeah.
So.
I kind of like her insect thing going on. I think it's unique.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That's why I like it. But...
However, if you want my honest opinion, I don't think she should be in there. And I think we'll discuss who we think should be in the game, because honestly, after kind of seeing that, I was like, well, I guess we're not going to get certain characters that I wanted.
Yeah. Aaron Black.
I like Aaron Black. I don't have an issue with Aaron Black. I think Aaron Black's a great character. I like the whole Red Dead Redemption kind of feel, like
a cowboy.
John Wayne, if you will.
He's the cowboy.
Yeah, he's pretty much just John Wayne.
Yeah.
But better.
Garrus, the new
another Elder God. Kind of a weird one. Controls time and stuff, but I think he was pretty nutty. I when they showed him off, I
he looked fine.
Yeah, he looked pretty dope. I'm not gonna sit here and complain. He looked pretty dope.
Jade.
Welcome back, baby. Jade is one of my personal favorites. I've always enjoyed characters that use staffs and stuff. That's why I like in Soul Calibur. I'm a big Keelik fan.
Jade's an old character, right? She's
been around since I think 2 or 3.
Yeah, I remember. I'm pretty sure she's an Ultimate Trilogy.
She isn't. Yeah. Well, like I told you, Trilogy is its own separate game.
Yeah,
you keep calling it Ultimate Trilogy, but Trilogy is its own separate game.
Oh, okay. Well,
Trilogy has literally every character.
Okay, well, Trilogy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
She was in Trilogy. She was good.
Jackie Briggs is next.
They've redesigned her.
They're really trying.
And
she looks fine.
She looks okay, but I like her old design better, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for those that don't like that, but I am a fan of the old design, for sure.
Jax is next.
Jax is probably one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat. I've always been a fan since I really started playing him in 9. I've been a big fan.
Jax is fun.
I have
no complaints of Jax.
I'm just kind of happy they're kind of like throwing in like some of the original characters too, from like 1 and 2 again. And there are some that we'll get to eventually that
weren't cut, and I'm very upset about.
Yeah,
but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage.
I like Johnny. Johnny's probably my favorite character in the entire Mortal Kombat franchise, if I'm being
Oh,
completely
yeah?
honest. I played Johnny in 9 and 10, like, on, like, day one kind of thing. And Johnny was, like, one of the first characters I felt like I could relate to, which is why I think I like Cassie so much. Johnny just has, like, a place in my heart, along with another character that we'll get to shortly, that pretty much, like, solidifies and kind of, like, describes me in a nutshell. Like, if you were to name me as a person, I'm pretty sure all you would have to do is just say, like, I'm Johnny Cage, essentially.
Oh, yeah? You think so?
I think so, yeah.
Cabal.
Cabal, I know someone close to me who's very excited to have Cabal back in the game. It's probably their favorite character in the entire game. I know they said they're going to pick it up day one. And they're probably not going to play it a whole bunch, but they're going to play it enough to understand the character and the new mechanics that come with the character. So it'll be interesting to see. Next character?
Next is a classic, Kano.
Kano's been around since, like, Mortal Kombat 1, dude. It's like Scorpion, like, Sub-Zero. Like, if you don't put Kano in the game, like, is it really Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
It's, so...
I mean, he was in 10, wasn't he?
He was in 10.
Yeah, I thought so. Because he's been, like, every one.
He's been, like, I think I'm trying to think if he was in Deception, like, Deadly Alliance, because, like, honestly, I can't remember. Well, I brought Deception tonight. We may get a chance to
let's
play
check it, yeah. Katana is next.
Katana...
she's the first female fighter, right?
Female ninja, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean...
It was either her or Melina, if I recall.
It was her.
It was her, yeah.
Yeah, it was Katana.
Okay.
Because I don't think Melina came in until...
Or was it Sonya? It might have been Sonya.
Sonya was the first female, because she was in 1.
Yeah.
And then Katana was the first female ninja.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I am a fan of Katana. My mom, actually, believe it or not, likes Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah?
And she actually thinks Katana's, like, the greatest thing the Grace Gods ever from video games. So I find it hysterical. I, like, told her the other day, I was like, hey, you know what comes out next week, right? And she's like, what? I'm like, Mortal Kombat. She's like, I'm going to kick your ass like Katana. I was like, okay, we'll see about that. So we played X, like, on opening night, and I told her, I was like, okay, you think you're going to kick my ass, right? And she's like, oh, I know for a fact I'm going to kick your ass. I was like, all right, we played, like, one set, and I whipped her ass, dude.
That's funny. Collector.
Collector looks interesting.
Character?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about him.
He's a newer character. I don't know if he's related to the Elder Gods. If he is, he has to do something with, like, souls and stuff like that. He looks dope. I like the design. I want to try him. He looks nutty. I can just see it right now. He just looks like a nutty
he looks cool.
I definitely want to try him.
Yeah, he's got the forearm thing going on, like
Shiva.
Shiva and
Goro.
Goro, yeah.
And, like, who's the other one? Kintaro?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to
for
look
sure.
at, I guess. Kotal Khan is next.
Kotal Khan, like, I have mixed feelings about. Like, I like the idea of, like, a peaceful leader in, like, Outworld, but in the same time, like, Outworlds is supposed to be, like, this, like, heinous place that, like, has a lot of, like, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, not democracy, dictatorship, and, like, Kotal Khan is the exact opposite of that. So I'm just kind of like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I like the Mayan thing going on with.
Where he like praises like different gods.
Yeah, it's
like
pretty cool.
Like
I like that.
Like the blood god. And
I think that brings a really interesting thing to Kotal Khan, but that could be just me.
Yeah.
Kung Lao is next, which is one of my favorites.
I was gonna say Kung Lao is another cool character that I look forward to.
I'm just glad he's back.
Well,
don't get rid of Kung Lao. Don't get rid of another character we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
I'm very upset he's gone, but
and I think I know which character you're going to talk about too. But we'll get to there. Kung Lao is just a cool guy. He throws a hat.
Throws his hat, yeah. The blade hat.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of classics.
Chronica.
Another Elder God, but I think she's going to play more into story than she is going to be playable.
Was she supposed to be playable?
I don't know if she is. They didn't confirm that, but judging from how they're kind of making her out to be, I feel like it's going to be like how Injustice 2 was, where Brainiac is playable after you get the story, and that might be the same situation with
Chronica.
Yeah, with Chronica. So we'll just see. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Next is another classic, Liu Kang, Mr. Liu Kang.
So Liu Kang, I have mixed feelings on. I like Liu Kang, but at the same time, it's just a knockoff Bruce Lee.
But I like it. It's Liu Kang. You can't have Mortal Kombat without Liu Kang.
Tell Deadly Alliance that.
Excuse me. Deadly Alliance
was okay.
Yeah,
it was better. It was better than 4.
You can't. Are you telling me you can't have the character that goes whoa, 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 whoa?
Yes.
I disagree wholeheartedly. The bicycle kick is like one of the most important things.
Give it to Liu Kang.
No, it has to be Liu Kang.
All right, whatever.
It's Liu Kang, baby.
Here's my main.
And
I've already called it.
Noob Saibot.
Noob Saibot.
Even though Max has already called him.
Yeah, I'm gonna main him. I've always been a fan of Noob. I wasn't a fan of him in 9 though. I'll be honest. I think in 9 he's just a little wonky for me. So hopefully in 11 he's better. You know, he's not as weird and he isn't as stupid, but we'll see how it goes.
He looked cool. He looked pretty neat when I showed him. He probably has the best trailer or reveal trailer out of all the characters, in my opinion.
I disagree.
Which one?
I think someone else has a better.
Who would that be?
It would definitely be Johnny Cage.
I disagree.
Johnny Cage is pretty funny.
Johnny Cage is funny, but Noob Saibot is cool.
Yeah, that's true.
And next is Raiden.
Raiden's like another one. Like if you can't have a Mortal Kombat without Raiden.
Yeah, Raiden's important.
Yeah,
and he's evil.
Raiden.
Ooh.
Well, the whole evil thing, and they were trying to explain that with like the story. It's gonna be like because of like all the time shifting and stuff between like 9 and 10. It's cursed his heart so much because of that dang medallion he's around. So he's turned evil, and like the elder gods are gonna work together to like turn time back to the way it used to be. So yes, Liu Kang will eventually be dead.
Are you telling me that Mortal Kombat 12 will be them fighting Shao Kahn again?
Mortal Kombat 12 is just going to be Armageddon. If it even works out like that.
Next is, Scorpion.
Scorpion's another one that we kind of were like, yep, this is kind of a Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
You can't really have a Mortal
Scorpion.
Kombat. But the next character...
Sonya Blade.
I honestly... You can make a Mortal Kombat without Sonya. And I think it would
I'd be okay with it, but I think Sonya also is kind of important.
She's important, but she's not like... you need to have that character to make the game kind of thing. It's not like how big Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Kung Lao and Liu Kang are.
Maybe. I'm not sure I agree with you there, but I feel Sonya Blade's important. And that she needs to be in there, personally.
Well, since we're talking about her, how do you feel about Ronda Rousey doing... her as the voice and the whole actor.
I mean, I get it doesn't really matter. Voices to me or whatever, the character and the way they play matters to me more than their voice. But it's whatever. It's fine. Mm-hmm. But Sonya Blade, she's important, and it's weird to not have her in a Mortal Kombat game, and so it's good that she's in here.
I guess.
Next is Scarlet.
Scarlet's one of those characters that was really obscene in 9, and then they just kind of brought her in out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, do you remember this character?"
Yeah.
Well, she got a whole redesign. She looks better than she's ever looked before. And honestly, when they first showed her, I was very, very "Oh my god!" I was literally at my friend's house and we were watching the reveal, and I was just like, "Woo, woo."
Yeah.
I was like, give me more. So she'll probably be my sub main.
I like how she uses blood magic. That's pretty neat.
Dude, I thought that was so cool. Her fatality where she pulls the blood out of you and uses it as spikes or whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dude, that was... Or she does the... What is it? She uses the veins or whatever.
Yeah, and then she throws it in your face and she pushes it in.
No. There's a fatality where she takes blood from her own veins and does a blood transfusion with you, and weird. Basically stops your heart. They zoom in on the dude's heart and it literally just bursts.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was like, that's kind of freaking. And cool.
Next is Sub-Zero.
Again, another one that you kind of can't have without. I mean, it's the classic ninjas.
Yeah.
Speaking of ninjas,
and that's all. Well, that's all the release characters, and then there's the DLC characters Shao Kahn and Kung Lao,
Kung Lao.
Sorry. Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung.
I hope Kung Lao's not
it's not Kung Lao. Shang Tsung. Okay,
so Shao Kahn is kind of well, I feel like Shao Kahn's going to be one of them guys that
It's Shao Kahn.
He's going to be either really good at the beginning of the game, or he's going to be really bad, and they're going to either buff him or nerf him towards the end of the game that makes him in the middle.
Yeah.
They're going to do the Goro treatment, where Goro was really, no one played him at the beginning of Mortal Kombat X, and it's Mortal Kombat X was dying. They were let's buff Goro a little bit, and then he got the mid to high tier.
Yeah.
Shang Tsung, if you guys don't know, the guy that's doing the voice and the face models and stuff like that for Shang Tsung is actually the dude who used to play him in the original movie. I cannot name the actor's name to save my life. However, it looked really cool. I was kind of happy, and they kind of teased it with the crypt or whatever, which I was oh, the crypt's coming back. Yeah. I'm a fan of that crypt, man. That crypt is the coolest thing in the game. I honestly can't think of like a better like game mode to like do like weird stuff with than the crypt.
Well, I haven't really following this game much. Is it like Ten's Crypt where you go through like?
From the way it sounds, it's Shang Tsung's island is the crypt.
Okay, all
and
right.
pretty much you get to go through Shang Tsung's island and unlock hidden treasures. But he like says in like the thing like beware, some treasures are worth more than others, and some may have a price higher than others.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they're talking like coins or if like maybe like spooks.
Yeah.
Or different areas of the island.
Okay.
But if it's anything like how the island looked in MK9, it's going to be a very large crypt, and it's going to be a very cool crypt.
I mean, I didn't really like the crypt in 10, to be honest with you.
To be honest with you, I think the crypt in 10's cool because of the different areas that you can like go into.
I thought it was okay.
However,
it's
the
fine.
crypt in 9 is so like
I never
sick.
again. I didn't.
The
play
crypt in 9 is essentially just there's a whole bunch of like medieval like torture stations, and you pay with your coins, and then it would show the animation of said torture device.
Yeah,
and there was like repeats. So like you would like go to like certain areas. There was like one area was like a blood pool, so like you would pop like a blood pocket, and it would unlock something. There was like a tree one, and I think if like there was like something hanging from it, and you like knocked it off after you use your coins, and it would unlock something. And then there's the torch thing in the middle. And then if you go all the way back to the very back of the crypt, there's like a monastery type soul thing, and you go inside and you can buy like I think it was like alternate costumes for people or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it was like to me like that crypt was kind of like boring. But I was like, well, it is the first game back. It's been a couple years. Like the crypts beforehand have never really been that special though. Anyways,
no.
Like Deadly Alliance crypt, you literally went into like a sub basement, and it was just like a bunch of coffins, and you would open each coffin, and it had like different letters, and depending on the letter, you would get like a certain thing. Deceptions was like a graveyard, and you would break the tombstones that were there.
Yeah.
And there'd be like gold ones, different shaped ones. I can't remember if 8 had a crypt or not. I don't believe it did. 9's crypt I just explained. 10's crypt that we explained.
Yeah.
So I want to. Like I said, I enjoyed 10's crypt because you had to go and get like the different items to like traverse different things. I thought that was really cool. I did enjoy that. So I kind of want to see what they do with 11's crypt, and like maybe we have to use like different souls from like the past that like maybe aren't in the game.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. I think that would be pretty cool.
What I'm looking forward to is hopefully bringing back those towers that they had, the challenge.
They
towers.
did bring. They said they were going to bring back.
That's
towers,
good because that's
apparently
awesome.
In
I
the
love
beta,
those.
they opened the tower up for you to play.
Oh really? I
And,
love
but
those
not
things.
an online.
That's
one.
like the best
just
part.
A standard tower.
Good because that's like the best part of Mortal Kombat for me is those challenge towers. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
So the overall game, the gameplay, for me. I don't know how to feel about how X-rays are kind of like
no longer.
They feel like what's it?
Well, they're not X-rays anymore. They're called just crushing blows.
Crushing blows. They're just kind of like
really gory.
Well, not just they're more of like a last like oh you're low on health. Guess I got to use my.
But the problem is you only get it one time per match.
Yeah, you only get it one time per match, but it also like it's such a weird thing for me because I don't really like how players are rewarded for being on the edge of their death.
Right.
I don't like that.
It feels
cheap and casual.
It feels like a comeback factor.
It just feels like a very casual
I'm okay
move.
with because if you think about it, Mortal Kombat has always been like one of those like round combo heavy games.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have a combo breaker, you essentially were dead.
Yeah.
So this gives players more of a chance to like come back and like do what they need to do essentially.
Yeah. But it also to say that apparently from what I've heard 11 is not very combo-y.
No, it's not. It's very well. It is, but it's only combo-y to like an extent. So, like in 10, you could like make up your own combos.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they went on for a while.
In 11, it like got to the point of where like apparently in 11, it's like you pretty much have to work with like the special moves and stuff to make combos. Which I'm like, that's fine. I would rather it be that way than be some janky shit.
Yeah,
but, you know.
Because
I heard from what I understand, like Max played, and he was like, "Yeah, it's definitely like a foot heavy type of game. Like it's a more footsie game.
And I know,
which I was like, I'm okay with that, but
it's a very drastic change.
I think it's, but from what I've seen from like gameplay videos that they showed and everything, it doesn't look like it's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue I have right now with Mortal Kombat 11, and I hopefully they'll kind of fix it, is the way that their meter usage is. I don't know if you've seen that.
Mm-mm.
So do you remember in like 9 and 10 it was like the meter that had like the 3 stacks?
Yeah.
And each stack rewards you with like a different thing. In 11, it's one vertical meter, one horizontal meter.
I remember seeing that. I don't know what they do.
Okay, so the vertical meter is your defensive meter.
Okay.
And pretty much what it is, it's like certain moves, if they land as a counterattack, will be considered a defensive like move, and you can enhance it to do more damage or perform another like a special thing. The middle bar is your offense, so like that's how you would enhance your moves and stuff. So there's no more combo breakers.
Okay.
Which I'm kind of like, ugh, that kind of blows.
Well, to be also fair, the combos in this game are not that heavy. They're very
no,
they're
but
not
from
very
what
heavy
I've
combo.
been seeing tech wise, it's a lot of like mix ups.
Okay.
So if you get caught by a mix up and then you get caught by another one, you're practically dead.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess if you're taking this game very seriously, you won't have a problem with that. But
Yeah.
as someone who like used to play Kung Jin in 10 and used to do crazy bullshit with Bojutsu Kung Jin, and I did like a lot of aerial combos involving the dive kick and the up attacks and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be kind of weird to try to get used to being on the ground in Mortal Kombat, because you have to remember too, like in MK9 it was like that too. A lot of combos either started from air or they transitioned into
I mean, I really
air.
never took 9 seriously, so like
If you play characters like Ermac, you would understand like what I'm talking about.
okay.
Because Ermac was a top tier character in 9, and Ermac was like most of his combos either ended from the air or they started with the air.
Okay.
So it's just weird to see them change directions to do like more like ground based combos.
Yeah.
But at the same time, who knows? It might work out to their advantage.
Yeah.
And if it does, power to them.
Yeah. So you're talking about the meters.
So like the meter thing is like it's kind of weird. Like I kind of, and it like apparently it recharges at a very slow rate too.
Okay.
It's like, so like if this is just to give you an idea of like how slow it is. Do you guys ever see the episode of SpongeBob SquarePants where they did the snail race and there was The Rock?
Yeah.
The Rock is the meter.
So it's here and then it's over here suddenly.
Well, like, all right, let me rephrase that. It's actually Gary at the fucking starting line.
Okay.
So pretty much like he goes, but it's so slow you can't really notice it. So by the time you get, if you were to use both of your like horizontal meters, your offense meter, it would take you like half a match, I feel, to get it back to full. At least from what they were showing, it just went at a pretty slow rate. I feel like if you're gonna have it that slow of a rate, there should be a way that players, depending on the type of damage and how they're playing the match, should be able to get granted more meter. Because at that point, it's like you have to learn how to spare your meter then. But then again, that's like another factor, I guess, that they're taking into play when it comes to this.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Mortal Kombat 11, especially considering, for me, the game looks very.
It doesn't look bad.
No, it just looks very casual.
Well,
I hate to use that term,
but there's like no other real way to describe
yeah,
it.
it's very easy to pick up. I
That
don't
might
know.
not be a bad thing because a lot of Mortal Kombat's fan base kind of fell off after
after
Armageddon.
Yeah,
because Armageddon was like I think the line where everybody was just like, I'm tired of 3D fighters, I'm tired of this.
Well, I don't know about that
because that was like Midway's like last.
Well, like a way to get people back is I don't know if going like super casual is a good way to bring people back.
I don't know, man.
But
like I said, it could work out to them.
I don't think Mortal Kombat 11 is not going to sell well. I think it's going to sell fine.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, from a long-term game perspective, I think this is going to turn into somewhat of a Street Fighter V scenario where people are going to be like, the game's fine. I don't really like playing this game, but.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think there's going to be but like,
it also depends on
like
certain things.
Street Fighter 5, I think people are going to say it's a fine game, but then they're not. I don't think that people are going to say, I don't like playing this game. It's a fine game. I don't think they're going to say that. I think they're going to say it's a good game or it's a fine game. I'll play it every once in a while.
Yeah. That's kind of what Street Fighter 5 is.
To you?
Well, I guess to me, but a lot of other people I've read online, they're just very like 5's fine.
Like I'll play it. Like I don't. No. The only issue I have with 5, if we're on this topic, the only issue I have with 5 is that it's not. It's very like not very. What's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't feel like a Street Fighter to me. It feels more. If I'm being honest with you. It feels more like I'm playing a 2D version of like Soul Calibur.
Yeah,
it's very not even Soul
Calibur. Street Fighter 5 to me is just so it's just so easy. It's just not very fun. Well, for me, because like you know me,
I'm playing a slower version of 2.
Yeah,
there we go.
It's basically
it's
a very
slow
slower
version of 2.
And I feel like since 11 being not very combo based and kind of more footsie,
it's gonna feel
slow.
It's gonna feel like Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, it's gonna feel slow.
That didn't have combos.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna feel very slow and very clunky, especially coming off of 10, which is like nutty.
Very combo heavy.
Very combo heavy, very fast. Like the second one guy taps you, like half of your health's gone.
I just kind of like as a Mortal Kombat fan, like I just want the game to just be good.
Yeah. I mean, as a guy who enjoys Trilogy a lot, and how fast that game can go very quickly, it's very concerning. And I don't think slower fighters don't have their place. I just feel Mortal Kombat is not a slow fighter.
Oh no. Well, it's never really been a slow fighter until like the 3D fighters.
Yeah.
Came out.
And
even then, it wasn't really that slow. It was just they took it a notch down.
Yeah, they took it a notch down. And I don't think 11's going to sell bad. I don't think it's genuine. The general consensus, I don't think is going to be it's bad, but I don't think it's going to be wow, this game's great either. I think it's just going to be like
it's a good game.
It's good. It's just fine. Yeah. And that's kind of concerning for me because, you know, as a guy who, like, with a fighter, I want to, like, I want to learn everything. I don't want to, like, feel like a badass.
Kind of like how we will learn everything very soon with
Third Strike. But, it's very concerning, and it's just going to be one of those games, again, I'm going to pick up and be like, this is a game that, you know, it's as wide as an ocean and as deep as a puddle. Like, there's not a lot there.
Yeah.
And,
well,
it's concerning.
Well, on another episode that we're going to do, since we're kind of finishing up our... Well, wait.
Well, we didn't talk about
the characters
that we are upset we didn't get. Like Ermac. What the F?
Reptile?
Reptile.
How do you not have a Mortal
Rain?
Kombat without Reptile?
Like,
Smoke?
what the heck?
No smoke?
Yeah. What the heck, guys?
And then we didn't even mention the other character that got leaked.
What? Who's that?
Frost.
Oh, yeah, Frost.
Frost to me is like one of those characters that like you kind of forgot about and like didn't want to remember, but at the same time you remember her because she was just a way cooler version of Sub-Zero. Like in my opinion, like don't hate me comments. Actually, you know what? You tell me in their comments. Put if you think Frost is better or if you think Sub-Zero is better.
No.
Personally, for me, I personally enjoyed Frost in Deadly Alliance. I didn't really have an issue with her. But at the same time, it was a weird time for Mortal Kombat during those times. They were really experimenting with their character designs and whatnot. Like, old man Sub-Zero was in Deadly Alliance.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, gray hair, no mask type thing.
My biggest complaint is there's just none of the ninjas. No Ermac, no Rain, no Smoke.
I know, a bunch of people
no
were
Reptile.
A bunch of people were upset about this. There's no Melina.
Yeah, I know Melina either.
But apparently,
that's so odd to me.
But apparently, Katana gets moves from Melina. For instance, her daggers.
That makes it even worse because, like...
Well, it's like how in, like, 10, like, Katana had a morning variation, and it was essentially just Jade.
Yeah, and that's just kind of upsetting to me. Like, I'd rather have Melina in there than a version of Melina on Katana.
Like, that's why I was saying, like, I wasn't happy when they put Devora in, because Devora, I feel like, could have been replaced by one of the characters that we mentioned.
It just feels like a lot of really odd decisions for 11, for me, personally.
And, like, all the Elder Gods,
so, like
honestly, do we need that many Elder Gods? Like, Jackie, do we really need Jackie?
It's very casual. I don't know. We will see. I don't want to shit on this game, because I think 11 will be fine. I'm going to probably pick it up and be like, it's fine. I love it.
Well, I told you I'm going to pre-order it this Friday, and then we'll try and play it day one.
I really don't want to crab on it. It looks fun. I'm probably going to really play it. I don't like a lot of decisions they've made with the game. I'm going to leave that out there. That's the main You
want to wait till you get your hands on it to really make a full
And my biggest complaint is there's no Ermac.
My biggest complaint is the characters that should be in the game are not there, and if they are there, they're based in your story, and they're not even going to be playable.
Yeah.
I.e., Rain in 10. Who else did that? There was a couple characters in, like, 10 or Baraka in 10.
Yeah.
Like, that was really weird.
It makes me not happy. It makes me nervous, and I don't like a lot of the decisions. But, you know, at this point, I'm just saying things over and over again. So
yeah. So, with that, I think that's pretty much everything for Mortal Kombat 11. Next episode that me, Logan, and possibly Evan do, we're going to look into MVC2 And
No,
third
because we've been
strike,
playing it again. We've been playing those two games. Old
well,
Capcom, baby.
Yeah, and we actually have some really good thoughts on it. We'll have to share them with
Yeah.
you after we get a little bit more time.
Good. We say good thoughts, but it's probably just thoughts that people have already said. But
Hey,
screw it anyway.
we like to share our discoveries,
Yeah.
just kind of like how we always do. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for taking a listen. We do appreciate your time. I am Luke,
And Logan.
and we'll see you next time. Mortal Kombat Part 2. So this is now a week after release of Mortal Kombat 11. By the way, this is Luke. I'm sorry. I should have done my intro first.
This is Evan. Don't worry.
Logan's not here. He got his wisdom teeth pulled yesterday. So, Godspeed. Good recovery to you,
I know
brother.
what that feels like. Whew.
Luckily, I haven't had that happen yet. But, time will kick in and kick
Oh,
my
yeah.
ass. But, Mortal Kombat. So, as you guys know, the last time we talked about Mortal Kombat 11, I think it was like a day before, I believe.
Yeah,
or
like
something
a
like
couple
that.
days before.
And we were talking about the roster and how we felt about it, me and Logan. And I don't know if you got a chance to listen to it or not, and how did you feel about it? But after playing it, I have two big concerns. All right, and I think we're gonna just get the elephant out of the room. Progression in the game is very fucking difficult, and I cannot express that enough. I don't know if you've been seeing the tweets that have been going on Twitter.
I have not.
So there is a mode in the game called Towers of Time, and what it is so like how like in most fighting games you have like an arcade mode.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the towers as an arcade mode.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare anybody. Anyways, so the Towers of Time mode essentially is pretty much just their standard arcade run, except the difference is each person you fight has a different like thing about them, like a different like asset to them. So like
Right.
for instance, let's say like the first fight is against like Jade. Okay, we'll take Jade for example, and you're Jax. Their thing might be like for every attack that they hit, they gain their like super mirror a little bit quicker for every attack.
Okay,
Things
so they
like
each
that.
have their own little gimmick.
each one has like a own little gimmick. Well, the higher up you go, the harder they get. Obviously, some people are getting to the point of where it's actually insurpassable,
Ooh.
even on like certain like normal difficulties. Let me give you an example. A tweet that I read the other day was someone was facing Sonya Blade in it was like the third to last tower.
Yeah.
So no, you're not even near like the last boss. You're like in the middle of the tower essentially. They had to fight another character that would interrupt the fight. They would be ice balls that would be flying at them to freeze them.
Yes.
On top of that, they were losing health drastically for every time they got hit, and there was no buffs to them. And it pretty much just makes it unwinnable. And in order for you to get certain costumes, as you've seen, there's no microtransactions.
All right,
There
good,
isn't. There's no microtransactions. Now, I'm okay with that, but you have to make things eligible to get at the same time.
Yeah.
If you're going to not put microtransactions, you need to make things eligible to get. Now, this is where most of the fighting community is going to just say, get fucking good. I'm going to express this the best that I can. You can get good, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna fucking succeed.
From what I am gathering so far, it's like the more you go up, the more like random shit they just throw at you.
Yes,
and they expect
it
you to
stacks and stacks and stacks, and then eventually it just becomes so much that the player can't really like their hands are tied. Like, they just can't fucking do anything.
and you're not really given the tools to have a fighting chance.
Do you want to know how bad it's gotten?
How bad?
They had to put out a hot fix for it. Literally like 3 days after their game came out because of so many complaints about it.
Damn.
And it's like here's the another thing too, is that even with the hot fix, apparently it's still like difficult. It's more bearable, but it's still difficult.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same time, some of the stuff that you unlock you can only get in Towers of Time.
Right.
So it's like I guess I get it. So then there's like consumables that you can use, they say, and consumables are supposed to like help you in your fight, and that's like your buffs. But if you're out of consumables and you're like at the higher levels, you're fucked.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. So I haven't touched Towers of Time personally because I'm waiting for them to kind of like fix it and like patch it out. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't want to do it and just like be in like a ball of rage and just not want to play Mortal Kombat again. Like that's just not how I want to go about it.
Right.
So, and this is where my second complaint comes in. I did the story mode, okay? I'm going to break down story mode to you. Okay, so I guess I should say spoilers for those that have not played. I should probably say that. All right.
Woo, yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, spoilers. Sonya dies. Literally, like, first 20 minutes into the game, Sonya fucking dead.
Oof.
And that hit me kind of hard, because ever since I've been playing Mortal Kombat, since Mortal Kombat 4, which is not a great... Well, technically I should say trilogy. Ever since I've been playing since trilogy, Sonya's been in the game, and she's been a very big staple character. She's been in since the very beginning, and it just kind of hurt to see her go.
Yeah.
And being that Johnny Cage is one of my favorite characters, and Johnny is married to Sonya, it just hit home a little bit. Like, I will admit, I did cry a little bit.
Aw.
I ain't gonna lie. That kind of fucked with me. And then it's just like, oh, hey, so there's a ripple in time because the Elder Gods are pissed at Raiden for fucking up their plans. So, hey, we're just gonna bring every fucking dead character back except for some fan favorites.
Oh.
Like...
Melina! Pour one out for my girl Melina.
Yeah, pour one out for the homie Melina. Not unfortunately in Mortal Kombat 11, unless she gets involved in, through DLC.
Pour a little liquor out for the dead homies.
But... I mean, like, the storyline itself isn't bad. And, my biggest complaint is this about the storyline. Or I'm just going to say this. A lot of characters, they just kind of, like, they don't like retcon ideas, but they're like, hey, you remember that thing that happened in a game that you're not really fond of? We're going to bring that back, but we're not going to really put a whole big emphasis on it, just to let you know. For instance, they bring Frost back. Frost was in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which is the first 3D Mortal Kombat game, like 3D fighter, which is kind of like how Dead or Alive and Tekken 7
Yeah.
where like you can do like the whole rotation of circle instead of just forward and back.
Right.
Because obviously you don't know if anything, so I'm just
Yeah.
trying to break it down to you. So Frost is a character that like wants the Cyber Lin Kuei, which is the clan that Sub-Zero is a part of.
Mm-hmm.
She like wants it to come back because with the whole time ripple, all these like dead characters come back. So like Sector comes back, Cyrax comes back, Frost comes back. Who else? Old Kano from like the old days, like
Ooh.
bald Kano comes back. Young Johnny, young Sonya, young Jax. Like all these people like come back, right? And yet, what's crazy about it is that the whole timeline scenario like makes sense. So pretty much like the story mode is, oh, let me also say this real quick. Liu Kang is your new Elder God, folks. Fucking God. Well, technically, yeah. Liu Kang is your new Elder God. So there's a scene at the end of the game. I'm gonna kind of explain this to you the best I can. So there's a scene on the boat, like right before they get to like Kronika, which is like the big boss in the game.
Yeah.
There's a scene where they're on the ship and like Liu Kang gets like trapped in like Kronika's thing, and Raiden's like trying to reach out to like Liu Kang, and it's like, look, I'm gonna lend you my power. Use it to help you. And he's like, okay, all right, cool. And then literally Liu Kang just comes out of nowhere, dude, like with white hair, and it says Chapter 13. Fire God Liu Kang. He literally looks like a Super Saiyan, bro.
Oh my
like
God.
if Mortal Kombat had Super Saiyans, it's literally Liu Kang is a Super Saiyan now.
Oof.
So Beat Kronika is Fire God Liu Kang, and there's apparently like 3 endings to the game. I've only seen 2 of them. One is the bad ending, which is when you lose to Kronika. One is the like I guess standard ending, and then there's a good ending. Or no, there's a good ending, which is the one I see, and then there's a secret ending, which I haven't seen.
Ooh.
I'll probably look into that. If you guys know it, obviously you can drop it below. But pretty much, like, Raiden's like, look, man, I gave you my power. Like, I'm no longer an Elder God. This is all your shit now. Ooh. It's like, wait a minute, time the fuck out. Time the fuck out. Sonya dies, okay? Then the original Scorpion, like the OG Scorpion, dies. Hanzo Hasashi dies. And then Raiden's no longer an Elder God? Like,
That's some big stuff.
it's like a lot of big plot like things that are gonna like definitely change the way Mortal Kombat is in the future. And Raiden and Liu Kang goes, well, what if I need your guidance, like as an Elder God? And Raiden goes, I'll be with you as long as my mortality lasts me. So pretty much he's gonna be alive as long as his life will let him. And I was like, that's okay, I guess. But then it's like, so what happens when Liu Kang wants to be normal and doesn't want to be a fucking dick anymore?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a fan of Liu Kang. I'm just going to be straight up. I don't like Liu Kang. I've never liked Liu Kang. I maybe liked him for like 1 year of my life, and I was like, okay, he's kind of fucking overrated. He's pretty much like the stereotypical, like, Bruce Lee of like most fighting games. So like
Oh.
in Dead or Alive, it's John Lee or whatever his name is. In Mortal Kombat, it's fucking Liu Kang. In Tekken 7 and Tekken series, it's Law and Forest Law. Like there's always that one character in every fighting game that's got Street Fighter, Fei Long. Like it's every fighting game, and I just don't care for those characters, man. I just don't.
Right.
Okay, I got one more pressing issue, and then we'll talk about the characters and like if I was a fan after trying them. The crypt is the best that it's been. However, progression in that as well is very hard. It kind of ties into the whole like Towers of Time thing because you get coins after every fight that you do. It's like if you win, it's like 300. If you lose, it's like 150.
Right.
And then depending on like what costumes you have and if you change any like augments about them, which is supposed to be like boosters or something like that, you can also get like additional coins for that. But there's like 3 forms of currency. There's like coins, souls, and hearts. Now, coins you just get from fighting.
Yeah.
Souls you get, I think, from just playing the game in general and doing like the Towers of Time, I think. Hearts, I don't know how the fuck you get hearts because like I've been trying my dick off to get hearts because there are certain chests that you can only unlock in the crypt using hearts. Just like how there are only certain things in the crypt that you can only unlock using soul fragments. And there's also items in the crypt too that use your soul fragments. Specifically, Kenshi's blindfold uses soul fragments. And I'm not a fan of that because there's an actual thing that costs 3,000 souls.
Wow.
And literally, like, the most I've ever gotten is like 400.
Damn.
So it's like, I know the game's only been out for a week, and obviously the more I play, the more I'm going to get. But it feels like it's just taking such a long time to get those things. It's like, I don't want to be playing this game for 3 years only to have like 25% of the crypt unlocked.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't have that kind of time, and I just don't have that kind of like patience for that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Mortal Kombat 11's fun. You played it. You had fun.
Yeah.
Logan played it. He had fun. I played it. I'm having a fucking blast. But like, I just think once NetherRealm fixes its progression shit, whatever the fuck it is, I think it will end up fixing itself. Like, primarily, the fan base won't be so upset.
Yeah.
Because that's the fan base's, like, biggest problem right now is, like, they're just worried about progression, like, how they're gonna, like, get their coins and, like, how they're gonna, like, go and unlock everything in the crypt.
Yeah.
And as, I think were you there when I showed you guys a little bit of the crypt? Did I show you guys
Yeah.
that? Okay, so you've seen how, like, there are particular ways you can die in the crypt, right? You've seen that, right? Okay, so I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
So there's like puzzles and shit that you gotta solve too, and like if you solve the puzzles, you get coins. If you open new areas, you get coins. It's like there's so much to explore in that crypt. It's definitely the biggest crypt it's ever been. But being big also isn't bad because it gives the players more time to explore, and I like it a lot. I really do. I just hope that as time goes on, like with this game, there's a lot of love and support because they were talking about 19 DLC characters.
Wow.
Which is practically a whole second roster because our second roster, or the original roster, is 25 characters. So if you think about it, we're looking at pretty much a whole second roster. And I seen what people were thinking for like what they want to do for like DLC characters. And I read things like they want to put the Joker from like Batman in it. I read Spawn again, but I said this before, every leak that I see that's, or supposed leak that says it has Spawn in it is fake. Like I just immediately assume, because they've been saying that for the past 2 fucking Mortal Kombat games and like a couple of the Injustices. And I'm like, dude, we've been saying this for like how many years now? And it's like, I just can't believe it until I actually see it.
Right.
I heard like Pennywise, like the dancing clown from It was like another one. I was like, no, why? Like, what in what world?
I mean, then again, you got to think about it. Noctis and Negan are in Tekken 7, so.
I mean, by that logic, yes. I guess, but at the same
it's
time,
not to say that like it's gonna happen, but it's like
it's a realm
if you
of
think it's too
possibility.
crazy, then crazier's happened.
I mean, but then like I read something saying Mike Myers. Like Mike Myers makes more sense to me than fucking Pennywise.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry to those that actually want Pennywise in the game, but you guys are fucking idiots. I'm sorry. Sorry to all the fans that just got butthurt and just turned off our fucking shit, but whatever.
Right.
But if you can't accept my opinion on that, that's fine. That's your fucking issue.
Yeah.
But
I guess so.
I honestly don't think Pennywise deserves to be in that game. What was another character? There was like a bunch of like other like Mortal Kombat characters, like Fusion. Fusion's been another one they've been talking about for adding for like the past like 4 games.
Damn.
And yet he was in the story mode for MKX. I will say that. So there was possibility for MKX. So now's definitely a time if they really want to add him. Now's a good time. I did read that there might be Melina, but then again, I can't confirm or deny. So
Right.
If the 19 DLC characters is a legit thing, I mean, honestly, it would be pretty cool. It will be pretty fucking awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Anything that you want to add?
Not really. I will admit that I had fun with the game. I don't typically play like the super violent fighters. I kind of like some of the ones that are a little bit more modest, but Mortal Kombat has that cool factor to me. I did enjoy what I played of it.
Oh, one other thing, since you mentioned like the cool factor, because it reminded me of something. The fatalities are definitely better than what they've been in the past couple of years.
I got a kick out of Johnny Cage's.
The one where he like does the ventriloquist or whatever. Yeah, you should see the other one that he has. The other one that he has, it's like, so he goes to like uppercut a dude. It's supposed to be a take on like his classic fatality from like MK1. And when he does, he pretty much just uppercuts the head off and that's it.
Oh.
But what he does is he goes to do it and he like fucks up because the head doesn't come off and he calls like a set crew on. And he's like, who the fuck hired this guy? And it's like, they do like 3 takes of it too.
Oh my god.
It's actually, I'll have to show you when we get off of here.
Yeah.
Because it's actually like hysterical, dude. Like I was laughing so hard.
Wow.
Yeah. It's actually pretty funny. Also, with it being on the Switch, I think it's pretty cool. I didn't personally get it on the Switch,
Right.
but being able to play Mortal Kombat on the go and it being on Nintendo consoles again primarily is a big step for Nintendo. It's definitely trying to reach out to other communities, which is good. Now we just need like Street Fighter, an actual like new Street Fighter, not like re-releases. I want a new Street Fighter on the Switch. Then Nintendo, then you will get my monies,
Right,
and all my monies.
Maybe with Street Fighter 6 or something.
Who knows? But honestly, that's really all I have.
Yeah.
Honestly, besides story mode just being a clusterfuck of like new information and just resetting, and the progression thing, is that progression thing is just really just irritating everybody, and I can understand why for sure.
Right.
I think that's about it. That's all I really have for Mortal Kombat. The characters. Oh yeah, characters. Real quick. The character I think I've used the most is Jax. Jax hands down has been like my number 1 character. I did put a little bit of time into Geras, which is a newer character. He's fun, but he's not my cup of tea. I tried playing the Collector. The Collector's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Collector's got a lot of cool traps, like corner traps and whatnot, and I think that's pretty fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing more of him as time goes on. But I think outside of that, that's really all I have for Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for taking a listen to us. As always, we do appreciate your time. Hopefully we'll be able to catch you guys on the flip side.
Yeah.
And tell us, have you guys played Mortal Kombat 11? What's your guys' take on it? Do you guys like the story mode? Have you beaten the story mode? Who's your favorite character?
Right.
Favorite fatality? Tell us all. Tell us all. We love to hear it. Thank you guys so much. This is Luke.
This is Evan.
Have a good night, guys.